She didn't get the promotion. She didn't get the respect.
Are great with numbers, but I just don't think you got it.
She didn't even get to eat her tuna sandwich in peace.
It's about you.
Complaints?
Noxious odors.
But she got the island. What starts as a corporate humiliation, a woman invisible in her own office watching a man steal her work and smile doing it, turns into something nobody saw coming. The plane goes down. The co-workers die. And the only two survivors, the woman they all laughed at and the CEO of a Fortune 500. By the time this story ends, she will have poisoned him, paralyzed him, beaten him to death with a golf club, nice and taken over his company, written a best-selling memoir. She didn't just survive the island, she used it. Linda works at Preston Strategic Solutions as an economic strategist, and she is exceptional at her job. Every report she files is surgical. Every number she touches becomes a weapon. But none of that matters because Linda doesn't look the part. Her clothes are wrong. Her laugh lands wrong. She eats tuna fish at her desk. No close friends, no family, just a pet parrot and an unshakable belief that hard work will eventually be rewarded. She spends weeks on a strategic report, hands it to her coworker Donovan, and watches through a conference room window as he removes her name and presents her work as his own. She doesn't storm in. This is always how it goes. Donovan is everything. Linda is not polished charming, but completely hollow. He steals her work and presents it with a winning smile. Nobody checks. The company's late founder promised her a VP promotion. Now his son Bradley is taking over, and Linda is convinced her moment has finally come. Bradley doesn't like Linda from the start. Day one, she presses a tuna fish sandwich into his palm by accident. His executive explains that Linda was promised the promotion. Bradley has already given it to Donovan, his old fraternity buddy. Linda's impression didn't help. The executive warns she's essential, especially with a Bangkok deal approaching. Bradley agrees she's useful and decides to keep her working behind the scenes, where nobody has to look at her. Linda finds out she's been passed over from a coworker. She walks into Bradley's office mid-interview and demands an explanation. He tells her she's great at her job, but not leadership material, not good with people. Then he mentions she has something in her teeth. He offers a chance. Solve Appendix D for the Bangkok deal and he'll reconsider. She takes it. She walks to her car and cries for 20 minutes, then wipes her face and starts preparing. Linda solves Appendix D before the plane takes off. Bradley dismisses her when she tries to tell him. Donovan jokes she works too much. While she quietly writes in her seat, Donovan pulls up an old audition tape Linda made for Survivor, demonstrating legitimately impressive survival skills. The group laughs. They assume she's listening to music. She hears every word. She has no idea how soon she'll get her chance. What Linda feels in that moment isn't embarrassment, it's damage. And the people laughing have no idea what they just triggered. Linda deletes the report, then the turbulence hits. Depressurization tears a hole in the cabin. Donovan grabs Linda's seat and tries to force her out. He wants to survive and he's willing to use her body to do it. Linda stabs his hand with a fork. He loses his grip. He's sucked out. The plane hits the water. Linda sinks, and then she swims. Nice. Linda wakes up on a beach in the Gulf of Thailand. She finds Bradley unconscious nearby with an injured leg, builds him a shelter, collects rainwater in coconut shells, makes fire, catches fish, and cooks it. She is completely in her element. Bradley wakes up, learns about Donovan, thanks her, then refuses to eat. She feeds him anyway, pushing food into his mouth like a stubborn kid at dinner time. He wants to signal for help, build a raft, do something. She tells him she's focused on shelter water food. He reminds her he's a Fortune 500 CEO and says she's fired. No. Linda listens, then walks away and leaves him alone for nearly 2 days. No food, no water, no instruction. When he's near collapse from dehydration and sun, she returns with water. Linda teaches Bradley to read the jungle, which berries carry poison, which plants to test against skin where the cliff paths hold and where they crumble. Linda spots boar tracks, makes a spear, and heads into the forest. The boar charges. She climbs a tree and drops onto its back from above. One strike isn't enough. It charges again. She stabs it a second time. May's still alive. She stabs it in the eye. She drops the severed head at Bradley's feet, covering him in blood. One evening, after Linda ferments wild fruit into rough wine, they sit in firelight and talk for the first time honestly. Bradley admits his father was always a distant figure present in photographs, absent everywhere else. His mother was cold, precise in her cruelty. The arrogance he performs in every boardroom is a language he inherited. Then Linda tells him about her husband, caring once then not. He drank. He hit her. She let him drive drunk one night, and the accident killed him. She's never told anyone this before. A storm destroys their camp. They shelter in a cave, wake up closer than before. Bradley starts adapting, rebuilding the camp higher, taking initiative. Linda is pleased. She shows him the poisonous berries on the south side. Clear warning, don't touch those. Bradley volunteers to cook dinner so she can rest. He uses the berries. While Linda is incapacitated and barely conscious, Bradley slips to a raft he built in secret. It breaks apart almost immediately in the waves, and he washes back onto the island unconscious. Linda, still sick, still poisoned, drags herself to him and performs CPR, vomiting on him from the toxin still moving through her system. She mentions her father's dog, the disobedient one they had neutered to make obedient. She lets the implications settle like a stone into still water. Bradley does not attempt escape again. Bradley poisoned Linda and tried to escape while she was down, and she saved his life anyway. That's not forgiveness. That's a predator deciding the prey isn't finished yet. She chose to keep him alive. Linda doesn't mention the raft. She doesn't raise her voice. She prepares dinner, mighty, blue-ringed octopus, skewered, cooked, served warm. She explains it calmly to him while he eats. The neurotoxin will paralyze his muscles completely. He'll stay conscious. He'll understand everything happening around him. He just won't be able to move or feel anything. As the paralysis sets in and Bradley can't react, Linda cuts something near his body with deliberate precision. She holds up a dead rat. Next time, it won't be a rat. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Bradley doesn't speak for days. Linda discovers a hidden mansion near the cliffside belonging to a billionaire who rarely visits. She gets the security code from the caretakers, lets herself in, takes what she needs, and tells Bradley nothing. Then Bradley's fiancée arrives by boat with a captain. Just the two of them. Linda confirms Bradley is alive, offers to lead them to him, takes them to the narrow cliffside path. She lags behind to tie her shoe. Zuri is everything the world around Bradley rewards. Beautiful, polished, warm in exactly the way that makes powerful men feel comfortable. Zuri is not a villain. She's not a rival. She's a woman who walked into the wrong story at the wrong moment. Think about what Linda had before the island. A stolen promotion, a stolen report, a life where she was invisible. And now, she has mastery. She has purpose. So she doesn't push Zuri. She just guides her. She ties her shoe. She waits. The cliff does the rest. Bradley finds Zuri's ring in the sand the next morning. He finds the hand still wearing it. He runs at Linda with everything he has. She is faster, more practiced, more fully alive. She's partially scalped. He's nearly blinded. She bites through skin. He stabs her. She swallows the engagement ring. He escapes to the mansion. Linda's voice comes through the building speakers before he can find her. The knives are already gone. She removed them first. She explains everything. The boat she saw from the waterfall, the mansion she found, the security code she got from the caretakers. She could have ended this months ago. She wasn't ready to leave. Bradley pretends to weep. He tells Linda he loves her, says they should stay on the island forever. He finds a carved animal statue, snaps off its horn, drives it toward her. The shotgun drops. He picks it up, calls her a name, pulls the trigger. It's empty. She already removed the shells. The golf club is heavier than it looks. A year later, Linda Liddle is a public figure, sole survivor, best-selling author, her memoir's central thesis being that no one is coming to save you, so you had better save yourself. She runs Preston Corporation. She drives a luxury car with her parrot singing Blondie's One Way or Another, a song about obsession and pursuit and getting exactly what you came for. She glances at the camera. She got everything. The status, the wealth, the identity she was always told didn't belong to her. Bradley once said golf wasn't her game. The very same tool that barred her became the instrument that opened every door. Nietzsche wrote, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become one." Bradley never read that. Linda did. The difference: Linda chose to become one anyway with complete clarity. That is not a breakdown. That is a decision. Monsters aren't born. They never are. If that ending made you feel some kind of way good, that means you were paying attention. We don't just recap movies here. We find what movies say about us. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.